possibly the greatest James Bond car gadget from any of the movies.
Can you swim?
The original Q would have been very upset with that one, I'm sure.
Oh, very good.
Because this is my own one, I kind of like having the chips on it, because I did put some of those chips in it. Gave him the money and ran away. I'm possibly going to regret doing this. There we go. I just got bored and bought this. And so here we go. Bloody hell. It's kind of perfect, isn't it? Isn't. What have I done? Hello there. The Lotus Esprit from The Spy Who Loved Me. Possibly the greatest James Bond car gadget from any of the movies. Yes, everyone knows the Aston Martin DB5 from Goldfinger. It's the classic. It's the one everyone thinks of first. But I would like to remind you that that car, even though it was loaded with machine guns and an ejector seat, it did not turn into a submarine. There was also the Aston Martin V8 Vantage from The Living Daylights. Again, a wonderful car. I would love to have owned one of those cars. It had lasers in its wheels. It had rockets. But it did not turn into a submarine. And then we had the Aston Martin from Die Another Day. Yes, what a fantastic car that was. A V12. Beautiful. Also had an ejector seat. Also had one of my favorite ever James Bond scenes. But I'd like to remind you, even though that one could turn invisible,
Oh, very good.
it was not turning into a submarine. And then when you look at all the Daniel Craig James Bonds, there's not many cars there. They had the DB10, which had a few gadgets.
Okay, Q, give me something.
That scene sort of aired more on the comedy. So really, poor old Daniel Craig didn't really get any decent gadget cars, did he? Oh, well, I suppose he did have the DB5 with the ridiculous Gatling guns that they put into it for No Time to Die. Why put Gatling guns in it? I don't know. The original Q would have been very upset with that one, I'm sure. Anyway, that's by the by. We're looking at this, and I want to tell you why I am obsessed with this particular toy from Corgi.
Bond. James Bond.
Can you swim?
Okay, so here to my right, this is my original childhood one. Well, when I say it was my original childhood one, it's one that I bought at a boot fair, probably when I think I was in my early teens when I finally got this. Now, the reason why I'm obsessed with these vehicles, or these toys, is because when I was about 8 years old, I went to visit my grandmother in London, and I stayed there for the weekend. And she took me into the city to Hamleys, the massive toy store, world famous toy store in London, world famous and very expensive toy store in London. And there were boxes and boxes of James Bond cars. I remember on one of the floors there they had all their die-cast vehicles, and there were the James Bond cars, and there was the Lotus. And I remember begging my grandmother to let me have one, but they were just too expensive for her. So unfortunately, I never actually got one when I was a kid. I did have a DB5, which has been battered to hell with play damage, but I never really had the Lotus until I got this one at a boot fair. And unfortunately, being from a boot fair, the firing mechanism, well, it didn't have any of the rockets, it didn't have any of the stickers, it's chipped to hell, doesn't have any wheels. The rockets were obviously missing, and the firing mechanism doesn't work. I do have in this one, this is a 2001 re-release, I do have the rockets or the missiles, and if you put them in here, they don't come back out again. So something is obviously wrong with that. And this mechanism also doesn't really work. It's very temperamental. So yes, this one I just display in submarine mode. I did think about taking it to pieces and respraying it, but I don't know, for some reason, because this is my own one, I kind of like having the chips on it, because I did put some of those chips in it. So there you go, they do have their memories. This may also be an original from 1977 when they originally released the Lotus. I have no idea how old this one is. Now, the one to the left, I bought this a week ago at a flea market, a local flea market. And again, it's got the Corgi 007 underneath, which means that it's and made in Great Britain, which means it's an original one, also possibly from 77 or the early 80s. We don't know. I saw it there on a guy was selling a lot of Dinky toys and Corgi toys, and I saw it sitting there like this. There was no price on it. I told myself I would pay a maximum of 10 euros. When I asked the guy what he wanted for it, he wanted €2.50. So I said, thank you very much, gave him the money and ran away. Yeah, there was no way I was going to let this sit there for that price. Unfortunately, the mechanism does close in, but it doesn't really like, oh, it's now come out. It was stuck solid. Oh, there you go. Oh, yeah. So the release is a little bit sloppy on it. Again, the missile firing mechanism doesn't work, and it does need a bit of a cleanup. So this one I have actually, oh, the wheels are bent as well. So it does drive. It drives. You can get in it and drive it. No, it does roll, but not very well. And but yeah, as I was going to say before I got distracted by the rolling of the Lotus, I'm going to drill these rivets out, and I'm going to take this to pieces and see if I can actually clean it up. I was been looking online for some repost stickers, because these ones are just knackered. So and obviously if I clean it up, I'll probably want to respray it and the stickers have to go. But yeah, I haven't really been able to find any that are available for me to buy here in Europe. Fortunately, the windscreens and the side windows, I mean, it's taken a battering. It's obviously been in a toy box somewhere and smashed around, so she's got a hole in it here. But yeah, so that's going to be a little project. I don't really mind that it's a bit battered up, because I have this one and this one. So this one in the middle here, as I say, this is the 2001 re-release, and this one works perfectly. I love that mechanism. When it's working perfectly, it's perfect. And then, as you can see, I also have all the rockets, and they should also all fire. And I'm possibly going to regret doing this. There we go. They're all off. And I think they've all landed on the table, so I'll be able to find them as well. There is another variant. Recently, they released, what was it? I think 2 years ago, they re-released a special version of the Lotus. I figured that I had enough Lotuses as it was really for my purposes. Well, back then I only had these two, to be fair. And then obviously with buying this one, I definitely don't need any more. So it was quite a shock when I just got bored and bought this.
Look what Q's brought for us. Isn't it nice?
So this is an absolute stunning box that it comes in. Absolutely loving this sort of gun barrel from the gun barrel scene that's with every James Bond movie. It's a shame that they don't have Roger Moore walking in the background there. That would have been quite nice. So we have the Lotus Esprit S1 submarine. Don't like this sticker underneath. I think this is a little bit ugly. But can we see a good date on there? Oh, 2024. So this was apparently from last year. I'm filming this in 2025 for anyone who's watching this in the future. So now this did come in a cellophane wrap, which I have taken off because I wasn't going to film that, was I really? It's not very interesting. And so here we go. Open it up. And there she is. Isn't she lovely? Has this little bit of extra packing protection. Embossed in gold. Is it embossed? Printed in gold. We have some blurb about what's going on there, both in the movie and for the vehicle itself. Pause the video and you can read that at your leisure. And we can, I think, just lift this out. Oh, there we go. I'll just grab it by the roof. And there she is. Now this one has extra details. So we are, oh, missiles. There you go. We have an extra pack of missiles also in there. That's quite handy. No instructions. No instructions for this one. There's nothing on the bottom. No. Okay. So we can see we get extra details. Let's have a look at this one. So we both of them have the black stripe down the side, but the newer one, as the door handle, is also painted. It doesn't have the filler cap, whereas this one has the filler cap. And the originals, they didn't have any paint on the sides. Let's collapse that in. It's a bit easier to hold. So we also get, here we have Esprit written on the side there. Nothing on that one. On the top, on the bonnet, we have Esprit, but no 007 on this one. That's quite an interesting variation. Lotus here. Lotus there. Okay, that's the same. But there we have the Esprit badge also. Yeah, we have the number plate and the lights. Instead of being all black, it's white. And then there we have the motors, or the propellers. Now, unfortunately, they don't hide away when you convert it. So that's possibly why they never put them on the original vehicle. But it does look pretty cool in submarine mode. Now, I am not going to take this off the card. Oh, the periscope is also silver. And we have the black stripes on the fins. This is all still plastic. So this is more movie accurate, I believe. Now, as I say, this is absolutely spanking brand new, and I'm not going to take it off its packaging. Now, I know what you're saying, but Retro Toy Guy say you always take everything off the packaging. Well, this one is actually a gift for a friend for his 50th birthday. So it would be nice to give it to him complete in the packaging. So yes, this one is not going into my personal collection. So I'm going to put that to one side now, safely. But luckily, I got this one. This one is going into my collection. So after buying the other one, I started looking around on eBay and I discovered this one, 15 euros. The other one cost me 45, but it does have a very nice box, doesn't it? Now, this is a 007 director's cut. Now, I know of no director's cut of The Spy Who Loved Me, but maybe it's just a special, obviously a special edition, I guess. And I believe this is from 2007, is it? Do we have a date? Yeah, 2007. So this is then would be the 30th anniversary of the movie. So this one I'm going to open up. Okay, so after a few minutes of fighting with the thing, I have managed to get it out of its box. Now, this is a fantastic, well, I was going to say toy, but I'm going to actually call it a model because it is a model. Look, we even have a Lotus symbol on the front this time instead of, well, the 007 or the Esprit sign that was in the last one. Which is in, if you were going in serious, in the new one, the next one. We do have the propellers, 4 propellers on the back again, and we're black, back to black. That was right, wasn't it? Yeah. So that's the same. Only the bar or the bumper is now black as well, instead of being white. And we have the Esprit signs on the side. Painted door handle. No painted filler caps on this one. And that is so small that I can't read what that is. Anyway, so does it transform? Yes, it does transform. Let me do that again, but this time so you can actually see it. 1, 2, 3. I like that. I like that a lot. So there she is in submarine mode. Again, a nice silver periscope. Very cool, very cool. We did also get a little baggie with more missiles and operating instructions. It's kind of funny that they didn't put the operating instructions in with the other one, but maybe the other one is not meant to be sort of played with. But why did they give it missiles? We don't know. Let's see if it does fire. It loads. Right, give me a minute. I want to find all my missiles. Okay, I have found the missiles that I randomly fired everywhere around the room earlier. And let's see if the new model also works. I'm going to point it that way. Hopefully they will all fire off in that direction. 1, 2, 3. Bloody hell. They actually hit the ceiling. I was not expecting that. I thought that they would just... Well, now I've only got 2. Oh dear. No idea where the other ones went. Jesus, that thing, that's got some power. Oh, need to do a power test. Old one. 2001 version. Boink. '2007 version. Damn, that's got some powerful springs in it, man. Cool. Well, not cool because now my missiles are everywhere. Luckily I've got a sprue with more. Right, okay, so there you go. That brings us really to the end of the video, doesn't it? I haven't really got much more to say. I think I've covered everything. Let me see if I can get everything back on the turny table thing. Oh, that's kind of perfect, isn't it? Okay, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button, share it with fellow Bond or Corgi enthusiasts. Now, I have found a few of the missiles that flew off, but it's okay. I have a whole pack of new ones. I don't really want to open the new ones, to be fair. What have I done? What have I done? Anyway, like, share, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And if you enjoy Corgi James Bond, then check out this video where I take a look at all my James Bond cars that I have in my collection. Now, thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.